What if I told you it is too early?
What would you say?
What would you say? Hey girl, what would you do if I walked up to you right now and said, it's too early? You know those TikToks where dudes do things like that?
Yeah.
And they're gross every time?
Hi, I'm Saige Ryan, and
Hi.
this is What Would You Do?
This is What Would You Do? A Nickelodeon show from the early 90s that nobody remembers. Even Saige.
Is that from Nickelodeon?
Yeah. What na 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 would na 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 what na 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 na
What was that?
what?
Okay, because I'm thinking there was a reality show called What Would You Do?
There was a reality show called You Are the One. And it's trash.
How did you know I was watching it?
That's Saige Ryan. I'm Anthony Carboni, and this is the first, best, and only morning show in existence. Good morning, BBs.
Good morning, BBs. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being up and ready to hit the news with us. What Would You Do was a reality show in the early 2000s where people would be put into ridiculous situations where it would be like, you're watching an old lady get robbed. What would you do?
Oh, I remember that, where they shamed people.
Yeah, they shamed people for being sheep.
Did you know that lady was being hurt and you didn't do anything?
Yeah, they would be like, let's have, it seemed like someone is yelling at someone in a restaurant and see if anyone does anything about it.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it?
They were like, it's a social experiment.
Hey, what are you going to do about it? What if I came up to you? Saige, we have a lot of news.
We do.
But I want to talk about...
But you want to talk about you.
I mean, if I may.
Please do. I'd love to talk about you, Anthony.
Thank you.
What's up?
Neurodivergency.
Yes. Quite familiar.
You might recall, Saige, maybe I told you, maybe I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been able to find my television remote in a couple weeks.
A couple weeks.
Yeah, and I've
Weeks.
been using my phone, the smartphone app,
Okay.
to do things
No,
on my
I feel
TV.
like I remember you saying something about this, and it's been like a long fucking time.
It's been a while.
Wow.
It's been a while, and I also have not been eating a lot of frozen foods lately.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Does that just mean you've been eating out too much, or
No. I've
have you
been.
been eating fresh food?
Hey, I'm like Subway. Eat free.
You freef.
But I did open up my freezer yesterday.
Okay.
Here comes the boy. Welcome. There he is. Hello, boy.
Now, Ronan Monkey in the live studio audience had an excellent comment on this and just said, as long as you don't leave it in the place after you find it.
Gentle reader, I took this picture, tweeted a tweet about how I needed more Adderall, and shut the freezer door for another 45 minutes. Here comes the boy. Whoa, boy. There he is. Welcome.
That's incredible.
Saige,
Yes.
sometimes the remote is in a jacket pocket of a jacket that I haven't worn since last year.
Like my wallet was for months.
Yeah, your wallet. See, okay. My remote thing is wild. I will agree. And I will also agree that I have done things like we're about to talk about that Saige has done, but I will act like I did not.
Sure, that's fair. Look, I lost my wallet for, what do you think, 4 months? No, less than that.
3 months. Probably
About
a solid
3 months.
Probably a solid 3 months.
3 months.
It was during the pandemic. Wasn't a lot
What-
going on.
right.
What were we doing?
I don't need my wallet. I've got Apple Pay if I need it. I can get cash out also when needed. And like, I had a different debit card that I could use. So I was like getting by, but what I didn't have, the big problem was my license. That's an issue. But like,
Yeah.
again, where the fuck am I going?
And
then,
her photo of her 8th grade sweetheart, which she keeps hidden behind her license. because
You have to pull the secret string in the secret box.
Because she thought maybe that person is the one, and she still thinks about maybe running into that person to this very day. She looks like she's a cold businesswoman.
Yes, that's what I look
She
like.
looks like a cold businesswoman, but inside she's really just yearning for that little girl and that one pure true love.
Anyways, I lost my wallet for about 3 months. And you gave me so much shit.
You've done it now. You've opened the door.
Anything can be.
You've opened the door. You've drawn the runes on the fucking doorway.
It turned out that my wallet was in my Pixel Circus jacket pocket, and it was under my laundry basket because I had put it where my laundry basket goes while my laundry basket was not there. And then I had put my laundry basket back on top of it. And I don't do laundry very often, if I'm honest. I have a bunch of laundry baskets. I definitely hadn't done that one.
She will buy clothes twice before she does laundry. She will buy a week's worth of clothes twice before she'll do laundry. Now we'll see. We'll see if your new living situation here.
Yes, I have a washer and dryer.
We'll see if that changes anything.
I do want to say that to my credit, I was living in a building that had about like 20 people in it. Probably about 20 people living in it, and one washer and dryer. And they were kind of icky.
That's fair.
So
that's fair. She would occasionally come over to my place to do laundry, and then either leave the laundry or leave all of the things to do laundry with.
Yeah.
And then she'd be at home, and she'd be like, "Oh no, did I leave my detergent at your place?" And I'd be like, "Yes." And she'd be like, "Oh well, I guess I'm ordering a week's worth of clothes."
Okay. We suspect I also might have ADHD. But who can be sure?
Who could be sure? Listen.
I couldn't know.
No one can. Absolutely no one is qualified to tell me what's going on in my brain. But here's what I do know. Medication helps. Anyway.
We've got news.
Let's get into the news. This first story is very exciting on a multi-generational level.
Yes.
But I particularly was very excited to show this to you, Saige.
And I have not watched the trailer yet. I've been waiting for this one. For you.
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is Nickelodeon's Smash Bros. Alike, featuring SpongeBob, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and more.
Holy shit. Now, Nickelodeon's done a lot of these like crossover games, but I feel like it's been a hot minute. There was a lot of the like Nickelodeon
Do you feel like it's been a while?
games. I feel like it's been a while. Thank you, IGN, for that quality. Thank goodness. Can you mute that?
Yeah.
Just because it's annoying.
Lincoln Loud, the Ninja Turtles, Powdered Toast Man.
We're getting that quality.
Sandy
good.
Cheeks.
Look at you guys watching it. Perfect. No notes.
You know,
IGN.
this feels like a mix between IGN and NDI, if I'm honest. Let me just.
I'm gonna pull up a different one.
Yeah, let me just mess around with my NDI a little bit. But while I'm doing that, I do want to read off this entire.
There we go. There's a better look at it.
I do want to read off.
Got Powdered Toast Man. That's very funny.
This entire.
Sandy Cheeks.
This is not necessarily the entire lineup, but it is the lineup as announced right now. More characters could be coming, say Nickelodeon. Michelangelo, Leonardo, Nigel Thornberry, Oblina, you just saw her, Ah Real Monsters representation.
I love Real Monsters so much.
Ah Real Monsters representation.
I love Oblina.
SpongeBob, of course. Sandy Cheeks, Patrick Star, Lucy Loud, Lincoln Loud, Helga from Hey Arnold.
Hell yeah.
Look at Helga.
Helga, hell yeah.
Reptar.
Oh man, you know I'm playing Reptar.
But then, also, let's see if they're in this trailer. If not, I am Zim.
Zim. Oh, he's got great.
And Danny Phantom.
Hey, Danny. Catch 'em all.
Hey, so if you've ever made dirty fan art of anything, you are represented in this game.
Like, we're all attracted to Danny Phantom, right?
Yeah. And we all hate Butch Hartman, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love these stages. They're all wonderful. I love the Ren and Stimpy Powdered Toast Man kitchen. I think that's a really unique stage.
We really got Nickelodeon Super Smash Bros.
I bet the netcode's better. I don't know who's making the game, but I bet the netcode's better.
Probably be more chill about people messing with it.
20 levels.
Wow.
Based on Nickelodeon shows. The Ninja Turtle sewers we saw, but there will also be the Technodrome. Jellyfish Fields will be there.
I love how you say a SpongeBob thing and immediately look at me like, yes?
Well, because you're already looking at me.
Uh-huh.
Because you're already like...
You're right, that was correct.
You're already like...
Yeah. Uh-huh. There were a couple in there I didn't know. Like, I didn't know Lucy and who?
Lucy and Lincoln Loud are from a show called The Loud House.
I think that's after my time.
It's a little after your time.
Almost everything else was...
Listen, to be fair... Even though the Ninja Turtles are technically early, the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles are after both our times.
That's true.
And Nickelodeon is honestly just like, they rerun a lot of shit. Because they had a real golden age of animation there.
Yeah, they did.
This is a very exciting thing. It's going to include single-player and multiplayer modes, local and online support for up to 4 players. You'll also be able to unlock new moves for every fighter and earn bonus content for an in-game gallery.
Yeah, I love this. This looks great, and honestly, very fun. I'm excited to see what that, like, latency and what that looks like. Because like we had with the My Little Pony, like, fighting game, the fighting community does not care. The fighting community does not fucking care what the game is, what the characters are.
No.
If you can get us, like, limited lag and, like, good remote play.
Fightin' Herds is an incredibly technical fighter.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. It's an incredibly technical fighter and also has some of the best netcode.
Oh, yeah.
The best. It's almost frame perfect.
Yeah.
Ludosity, the developers of this game, I am not super familiar with. Looking at them right now, it looks like they've had a bunch of indie. Oh, they made It'll Do. Oh, okay.
With It'll Do.
They made It'll Do. They made Psycard.
Their stuff looks very cute.
It's very cute. That's sort of their whole vibe. Their latest one was Slap City, Card City Nights. Yeah, It'll Do was kind of a Zelda-like for. It was really popular on tablets because there wasn't really anything like that on tablets yet. It was like 2013, and it was a big deal because it was like, holy shit, I'm playing a Zelda on my iPad.
Wow. Okay.
So this is very interesting. They make good games.
Oh God, Anthony.
I didn't even know.
Why not?
I didn't even know it happened.
Look.
Speaking of Xbox, want to mention this tweet that Xbox had yesterday. They tweeted out, and I love this, beating the game on the lowest difficulty is still beating the game.
Don't gatekeep gaming. Barriers to entry like difficulty are ableist.
Ableist.
Most important fact on this, that is inherently ableist. And B, there are people who just want to enjoy the story of a game, and it does not fucking matter how hard it was to beat that game. Video games are art. Video games are storytelling, and people deserve to get to enjoy that storytelling, whether or not they can defeat the same boss you can, bud.
Yeah, my stepbrother is paraplegic, but has limited use of arms, and he was always into games when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
Always into fighting games, stuff like that. And, you know, he has to play now with an assistive device, and he can't play at the higher difficulty levels that he always wanted to. And it fucking sucks, because he'll get shamed for it. He'll get shamed for it. It's like, my guy, he's just trying to enjoy what he wants to enjoy the way he wants to enjoy it. And above and beyond the accessibility issues, which you said are number one, motherfucker, what do you think I got going on in my adult life? Where I want to play every game, every 40-hour game at the hardest. Man, some games are very clearly meant to be movies.
Yep.
And I just want to movie through those movies.
Absolutely.
Let people do whatever they want.
Yeah.
With their money and their time.
Acosta in the live studio audience said, can we go find those people and call them meanies to their face? And yeah, you can. Do it.
Stooping to their... Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, call them meanies.
Yeah.
They are.
Something that was very interesting about this is going through the replies.
What's that button?
What button?
It says tip.
Oh yeah, you can. Oh yeah. Don't worry about that. That's
Okay.
part of my browser. I'm
Okay.
using the Brave browser for extra security, but they also believe in cryptocurrency and they try to insert it in places, and it's not the greatest.
Yeah.
All the responses. Now listen, you all know that my last days of weekly game reviewing came during Gamergate. So I have a little PTSD about this shit. I have a little bit of a negative outlook. I saw that tweet and I was like, here we fucking go.
And I'm a woman.
But looking through these replies, a lot of really good ones. Minus this one guy who also, I mean, this is also funny. It's
No.
the funniest way to say a shitty thing,
No.
but we're not going to highlight it. But a lot of people are like, as long as you're having fun, you're not wrong. There's nothing wrong with playing the game on the lowest difficulty. Like, a lot of people are just like, yeah, do it. The majority of people are like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
And I love that shift that's happened.
We love to see it. I talk about this on stream a lot. I play a lot of games when I'm streaming on the lowest difficulty because I'm doing 4 things at once, dude.
I'm running a live production,
Right.
talking to people,
Right.
playing a game.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot going on. And then the fourth one is knitting with her toes.
Exactly. And I need you to be patient with me while I do that.
Yeah. And
Dagger needs a new sweater.
she would love to show you, but it's against TOS. Show feet, everybody. Hey, chat, show feet.
No. Anyways, but in all
We
seriousness,
can't. You show feet.
regardless of anyone's reasoning, it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't fucking matter.
It just doesn't, quite simply, matter.
The second I find out that a game is like a big budget interactive film,
Yeah.
I almost immediately just put the difficulty down.
Yeah.
I
let me
like
just vibe.
I like the games now are basically you can ride the difficulty level up and down.
Mhm.
It's like switching gears on a bike.
Yeah.
Because if it gets too easy, I'm a little bored. And so you flip it up, you flip
Sure.
it down. It's great. Something that's very interesting about this, though, is in the replies, there were a lot of other studios and other brands. But one thing was Double Fine replied saying, if you play Psychonauts 2 with invincibility mode on, you're still playing Psychonauts 2, which is Double Fine announcing that there's an invincibility mode in Psychonauts 2. So if you want to see this beautiful animated mind trip of a thing, and you're not a fan of like kind of pain in the ass classic platforming, which I am,
I am not.
you can just play through the story of Psychonauts.
Thank you, Psychonauts.
That's amazing.
Thank you, Double Fine.
Listen, there's something called the flow state, and it's important in everything. It is like being challenged just enough for it to be interesting without it being so challenging that you're frustrated. And that's exactly what I need from games. Because you can't control that in everything in your life. You can't control that in your work. You can't control that in your interpersonal relationships.
Yeah.
But in games, if games are supposed to be the fun release.
Yep. And the difficulty that I want on a game will vary depending on the game, depending on my mood. Sometimes I'm trying to vibe.
Sometimes I'm just trying to vibe.
I need them to let me vibe.
I'm just trying to vibe. Let me vibe.
But deal with it.
But deal with it, everybody.
There's other news.
There's other news.
I have something in my eyeball, so you tell them about the news.
Sure. Final Fantasy 14. There's probably a friend in your Discord or your texts right now, or in your ear right now, trying to get you to play Final Fantasy 14.
Absolutely, because once they go in, they don't come out.
It is a cult, and it is exceedingly popular. There was a huge exodus from World of Warcraft recently, and due to a new expansion coming, and also just a resurgence of popularity on Twitch, Final Fantasy XIV is having its biggest month ever, and not just that, it's so popular, Even digital copies were sold out for a while. How does that work, you ask?
I would assume that there has to be a certain level, like a certain limit on how many they can sell even of digital copies to make sure that it is a maintainable traffic for an MMO.
That's exactly right. There were so many new people coming into FF14 that they had to stop selling all copies of the game
Wow.
to control server traffic for a little while.
Wow.
Wow.
That's very interesting.
It's pretty
you know
amazing.
What? Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
It makes me want to play it.
I want to play. I have people that are asking me every day to play.
And I'm like, absolutely not.
And listen, we
And they
talked
told
about
us we can't.
we talked about neurodivergency. Here's a fun thing about ADHD. If I want to do something and you ask me or tell me to do it, I immediately don't want to do it anymore.
Can confirm.
Like a child. I know it's a childish thing. I tell myself in my brain it's a childish thing. Intellectually, I know that. Emotionally, my brain go, I don't want do. You told me do. I'm not do now. Go away. I not do. You have to trick me into thinking it was my idea again. She's very good at that.
I have to be.
We do it to each other.
It is a prerequisite of working together.
And this is why we can't give hints during Zelda streams. Yeah, and also because I've played the game 100,000 times.
And also because even if it was his first time, or maybe even especially if it was his first time, let people experience
Let people
the game.
play the game. No backseating.
When they need help, they'll ask.
No backseating. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty crazy. Final Fantasy XIV launched as the most embarrassing MMO launch maybe ever. It completely underperformed. It was broken. It was being called boring. It was reviewed terribly. And Square fucking stuck it out. And now it's the biggest fucking thing going right now. And I love that. I love that.
That's great. The people that play it all fucking love it. I don't know anyone that likes it.
I've been told that if I go back and play it again now, it does not have the garbage nonsense that it had in the beginning last time. Like, it had so much tutorializing in the beginning, and not even like MMO tutorializing where you get to like attack once every 5 to 10 minutes. Like literal just run around and talk to people and get lore dumps for 45 minutes.
Oh, it's a no for me.
It was awful. And
Yeah, that's fair.
I just fucking bounced right out of it. However, I hear that's different now.
All
But
right.
maybe that's just the cult trying to get me in. Who knows?
Anthony, speaking of things that were reviewed pretty poorly,
Yes.
should we talk about what's getting reviewed pretty poorly right now?
Oh.
I don't think that's in here.
No, because I just saw it today. And Skyward Sword HD.
Yeah!
Skyward Sword HD drops on the 16th.
Uh-huh.
Uh
And early reviews are in.
Early reviews are in, and they're okay. It's getting a lot of 7s. Got a couple 8s. The most interesting reviews are from the people that don't score reviews, as usual. And there are some disappointing things that I was worried about. First of all is the HDness of it. Which is technically true. It is apparently the most basically... It uses the most basic upscaling and bilinear filtering, which, if you're familiar with bilinear filtering, basically just means a blur filter. And maybe doesn't look super great in motion, which is a bummer because just like Mario 3D All-Stars, we've seen what modders and the community and emulators are able to do with these games.
Which is very interesting. Like, I felt less betrayed by that being the case for 3D All-Stars, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just wasn't hyped up as if it was a remake. From the very beginning, I feel like I fully understood that it was just going to be like that Mario 64 wasn't going to look that great. But I felt like I was expecting more from Zelda. I just wasn't expecting more from Mario 64, and we got 3 games in that pack.
Yeah, and I mean,
they really were like, this is one for the 35th anniversary.
This is it. This is what you get.
Yeah.
Though there are still rumors that there's a 35th anniversary collection coming, but we'll see. Tick-tock, you know what I mean? One of the most wonderful things about Skyward Sword is the fact that as things fade into the distance, they became watercolor paintings. Mm-hmm. It still did not look great. It looked like it was straining the Wii to death, but it had an interesting style to it. And when you emulated it under Dolphin or something like that and upscaled and filtered those textures, that watercolor painting style was still in the game. Mm-hmm. It's gone here. I can't see it anywhere. People are loving that you can switch between the motion controls and the more traditional controls. Although one of the interesting things about the traditional controls is apparently you control your sword with the right stick because, you know, there's so many puzzles that require you to do like horizontal, vertical, or diagonal slash.
Yeah.
That's also supposed to be your camera, right? So there is a free look camera, but you have to hold down the L button and use your right stick to move the camera. It feels very like Dreamcast.
Okay, yeah.
And there's no way to swap it. Like, I'm going to move the camera more than I need specific sword motions on a moment-to-moment basis. I would rather hold for sword.
Yeah.
Because that would be kind of like L targeting anyway.
Yeah.
But you can't switch it, apparently. And then, of course, reviewers are talking about the fact that the fast travel is locked behind an amiibo. That is confirmed.
Which is something that we spoke about earlier when this was being announced about the amiibo, when we were like, well, maybe it won't. Seems like it will, but
maybe there'll be, you know, and maybe there's no, because they would have said it. If there was some end game way to unlock it, like where later in the game you get it, you know, like a Breath of the Wild sort of thing, but that's not it. So it is a Breath of the Wild style fast travel system where you drop down a pin, go wherever you need to, complete some stuff, and then immediately go back. That's garbage!
Look how smudgy it is.
Oh my goodness!
So the rest of this gallery compares the Switch version to the 2011 version.
Oof! Oofa doofa!
This is a capture from Skyward Sword HD.
That's HD.
And this is the 480p Wii version.
Corporate wants you to find the differences in these two pictures.
Okay, so here, Skyward Sword HD. That's a little better. I guess.
It looks like
HD.
It's weird. It looks less contrasty, the HD version. That's the only real difference I'm seeing. But it doesn't look tons better.
It really is.
I'm bummed. I'm bummed.
Like, that's the same image. That's the same image. Come on. It's the same image.
Yeah. It looks like they tried to update lighting and textures are getting just a tiny bit washed out. I mean, there's definitely a difference there, but I think the difference there, if you go back to the tree, is that tree is far away. And so in the original one, if you go over to the original, it's supposed to look like a watercolor painting.
Focus, yeah,
it's supposed to be blurry. But then if you go back to the new one, whoops, the upscaling kind of ruins that effect.
Yeah, it's got these like weird sharp edges now.
It looks like they didn't do any like LOD effects, like any depth of field for the new one. They didn't add that. Man, that's a bummer. Nintendo is not knocking it out of the park with these remakes and remasters, which is a shame. You know?
It is a bummer. It's definitely a bummer. It's a game that by no means was like the most exciting thing in the world coming out, but is Nintendo could have done better.
Am I still gonna buy it? Yes, because I'm streaming every single Zelda game on my
Yes.
Twitch channel.
Yes, he is. Go
But-
watch it.
But do I think this is gonna drastically change my opinion of Skyward Sword like I was hoping?
Yeah.
No.
Right. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing for me. If you want to play the game, you're not going to go bust out your Wii for it. You get to play it on your Switch, and that's great.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the only benefit for me
Yeah. I mean, any
between those two images.
any portable Zelda is a win.
Yes.
Any Zelda I can play in the bathtub is a
Mm-hmm.
win. We know this. We've spoken about this. But yeah, Flannel Fries in the live studio audience is going, the CDI version is going to be ranked higher. It is. The CDI version was hilarious. We had a lot of fun playing it.
Yeah.
The version of Ganon in the CDI version,
So good.
he's a sex haver.
Oh, I've seen him.
He fucks that Ganon.
Yeah, absolutely.
That Ganon, he sings in a deep jazzy voice, and he fucks.
Yeah.
So anyway, Skyward Sword, it is what we thought it was going to be, and no more and no less.
Anthony, Pills and Advice in the live studio audience said, I was playing Link's Awakening in the bath last night.
Bathtub gaming.
You've done it. You've started a movement.
Bathtub gaming. Which version of Link's Awakening were you playing, Pills and Advice?
Let us know.
There's no wrong one. Coming up next, we've got Forza Horizon 5 is coming out. The Horizon games are the Forza games that, if I'm going to play a Forza, I play the Horizon games because they're the more arcadey ones. They're the ones that remind me a little bit more of Burnout.
Okay.
I still don't love them, but they are all technical achievements. And speaking of technical achievements, Forza Horizon 5 is going to use ray tracing for audio.
What?
Now, ray tracing we think of in 3D as there are simulated light rays that are being bounced off of every surface in the game, and they reflect off each other, they catch light off each other.
So this is going to be about audio movement within your headphones?
Audio is going to be bouncing off of everything in the game world, realistically. So trees will bounce audio differently than buildings. Cars will bounce audio off of your car. It's supposed to be the most realistic audio experience. Demi Bella.
Let's talk about neurodivergency. Anthony, what's my least favorite sound in the world?
Loud cars.
This is a nightmare. The concept of putting on headphones,
To hear three-dimensional cars all
hear
around you.
three-dimensional loud cars and them all bouncing off of everything realistically. Like, it hurts in my chest.
Not for you. This one's not for you.
I'm very happy for Forza people, but literally you're just saying it, I'm just like,
But if this
Cool
tech is as cool as it is, as it
sounds.
sounds hot, maybe it will move into other Microsoft studios and Microsoft games.
And I would love to see that.
what about a horror game?
Now, that would be very interesting. I'm into that. It's going to be awful and horrifying, but that's what it's supposed to be. It would be good at that.
Next gen shit, man.
Next gen shit's
Games is
wild.
getting weird. And there's only one way to experience your next gen shit, and that's in this giant Cooler Master egg.
I want one.
Get on our level. Get
it.
in the egg.
And also get in our emails, Cooler Master. We would like one.
Yeah. We want to be the official egg channel of egg.
We'll do it. We'll stream from your eggs.
We want to turn into the Wally people.
We do. We'll stream from your eggs. We promise. Let us stream in your egg.
Let us stream in your egg.
We're in. Also, maybe just send us a piece.
Anybody ever said that to you in your DMs?
Yeah. Also, maybe just send us a PC. We actually really need one.
So they announced 2 gaming chairs. Obviously, the egg is the one that's supposed to get the headlines, but the one that they're hoping sells is the Cooler Master Motion 1. Hello? There we go. The
Much more accessible.
Much more accessible. It's a mix between an office chair and the sort of standard racing chair, which has become a thing. I don't know why. Does game go fast, burr? I don't get it.
Have one.
I know you have one, and if you have one and you love it, I love it for you.
My back
But
hurts
for
all
the
the time.
but for the same price, you can get a very comfortable chair.
I should have.
But the Cooler Master Motion 1 includes D-Box technology in the seat. What do we love? We love D-Box films. We love 4DX movies. We love that games are supporting 4DX. You can sit in your gaming chair and ride Fast 9, baby.
Now, they haven't told us anything about how accessing the content on Motion 1 works, but it does say here on D-Box's site that owners of the company's recliner need to pay $89 annually for the privilege.
Oh, yeah.
So, in order to make your chair do the thing, you're probably going to have to pay a subscription.
It's a subscription.
That's spicy bummer.
Well, you're paying for them to add more rides. You know what I mean? They have a pretty big collection of content.
Yeah, I mean they've said because this is not just for games. They've said here that it's working on Disney Plus stuff like Loki and Star Wars Bad Batch.
Ride Loki. I mean, so many people on the internet want to, and now you
I'm
can
listening.
with your Motion 1 chair. Motion 1 previously and D-Box, they make like recliners and theater seats that you can buy for your home that are very expensive. So I can't imagine that these chairs are going to be affordable. The C-Mix Game Pod, let's talk about the egg.
Let's talk about the egg.
So you sit in the egg. It has the ergonomic recliner, 3 27-inch gaming monitors, surround sound audio, and a PC and a desk. Comes with a Cooler Master PC built in. It better.
We need a PC. So
Cooler
let's get the egg.
We'll stream this show from the egg.
Yeah.
We'll just like when four or five kids have to get in the back seat for a road trip, and we'll just stream from the egg. Welcome to Egg 1.
Welcome to Egg Too Early. Welcome to It's Too Egg.
The GamePod has a fully automated motorized shuttle dome, which retracts, which lowers and raises. It's got a footrest.
Does that egg close you in?
I don't believe the egg closes you in,
Because
but
the top of it looks like that could come down and just...
no, I think
You know what I mean?
I think that part goes up and down, but I think it's in the down position right now.
Got it. Okay.
But I know what you
See
mean.
what I mean? How it looks like you could just...
Just give me a full egg.
Don't. No full egg for
Put me in a full egg.
No full egg for me. And that would be a sensory deprivation chamber at that point.
No, it wouldn't, because you'd have so much sensory. You'd have the games.
You'd have the games, yeah.
Yeah. Man, all the rooms in your house locked from the outside. What are you afraid
it's not
of?
my favorite feature, Anthony.
What are you afraid of? What a weird house.
Yeah. It's not my favorite feature.
You know, the Zelda anniversary is not shaping up to be great.
Nope.
The Mario anniversary was supposed to be about a theme park that we couldn't go to because of the athlete's foot. There is another franchise that is important to me that is having a major milestone anniversary this year. And it's Cooler Master. It's Persona, baby.
It's Persona, baby.
Atlus has teased 7 Persona announcements for the 25th anniversary.
That's a lot of announcements.
I do like that Rock Paper Shotgun says probably 6 disappointments.
The shade. I love it.
There's no company that knows how to not deliver less than Nintendo than Atlus. Is that a sentence?
I get you. I like that look.
And Takamaki? Yeah.
I feel like we've got I feel like I like her vibe.
Oh, you would love Ann Takamaki.
I know. I just mostly want to look like her.
Sure.
It's always what I'm going for.
That's only one of many cat suits.
I love a girl in pigtails.
Pigtails in a cat suit. That's her whole thing. 25th anniversary. It's going to come between September 21st and autumn 2022. Atlus says those announcements will include commemorative goods, various events, collaborations, and of course, game information.
Gonna give us some games?
You gonna give us another 3 dancing games and spin-offs before you give us another mainline game?
Probably.
What is interesting, though, is as little as we get over here worldwide, and particularly in Japan, Persona gets like a lot of interesting stuff. My buddy Andrew Goldfarb, Sucker Punch's Andrew Goldfarb, shout out Andrew. He went and saw the Persona 5 theatrical live stage play in Tokyo.
That sounds fun.
That was like a stage. That was a it was a theatrical experience and multimedia stuff. It was like a really big budget stage production for Persona 5.
That sounds
and
lovely.
They do all kinds of wild stuff like that in Japan. Bring a little of it over here. Give us a little something for that Persona. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would like to see that. We're never gonna get things like that.
I still have my Joker cosplay. I fucking love it.
No, you can't say that out of context.
No, not like damaged, like We Live in a Society Joker. Like Persona 5 protagonist. I have my protag cosplay.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fucking good. And I haven't gotten to wear it. So give me a reason to wear it.
Also, thanks y'all for all of the subs and the hype today and donos. We will, of course, acknowledge all of those at the end of the show. So if we don't hear anything now, just know.
Just know.
We'll be talking and thanking you at the end of the show. Of course. All right.
Speaking of overpromising and underdelivering, Nier Automata.
Oh, Nier.
A great game.
An
Phenomenal
aesthetically
game.
beautiful game.
The Steam version, though, not so great. The Steam version came out 4 years ago with a bunch of problems.
Yep.
Problems that got fixed in the Xbox version and in the version for other game stores, but that Steam update never came out. Which you'd be like, well, you know, maybe that's not their target SKU and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but it's been 4 years.
But it's been 4 years, and they've been releasing paid DLC for that version, so you know they're working on it.
So, like, make it a good playable game.
So finally, this week, tomorrow, it's finally getting its patch. It's going to be, you're going to be able to run the game in borderless mode, which you could not do previously. Pre-rendered cutscenes will now play at a stable 60 FPS. There's nothing weirder than a pre-rendered cutscene skipping.
Nope. Yep.
It's very CD-ROM 1998 of a game to do that. And the frame rate in general has been improved. There are also higher resolution UI textures, tweaks to the anti-aliasing, updated lighting engine, and multiple bug fixes.
I think I'm going to get it on Steam.
Oh, once this update comes out?
Once this update comes out, I think I'm going to get it on Steam.
Yeah. It's a weird game, and it's a game... Here's the thing. It's a game that you have to play through multiple times.
I've heard that.
Like you literally have to. So if you're somebody that doesn't have a lot of time for a game, it's gonna take you a while. It took me I kept playing Nier for like short sessions, like once or twice a week, and then like 2 times a month and stuff. And it took me forever to get to where Nier unlocks itself.
Yeah.
But it's cool if you can stick with it.
I probably can't.
Let's find out.
I don't have time.
Speaking of adding things to games.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, we have been talking a bit about the new Death Stranding update. The director's cut is what it has been referred to as, but Hideo Kojima doesn't really like that. He said it's not really a director's cut. He thinks that is an inaccurate representation of the game that's coming out. Essentially, for the reason being that he didn't feel like the original release was anything less than he wanted it to be.
Which is great, because when this was announced, we said like, hey, why director's cut?
It seems like it's something entirely new.
You had total control over the entire thing. It didn't come out until you wanted. You put everything in you wanted, and he said, "Yeah, no, you're right.
You're right. It's not a director's cut."
I didn't call it that.
So, in the tweet, he said a director's cut in a movie is an additional edit to a shortened version that was either released reluctantly because the director did not have the right to edit it, or because the running time had to be shortened. In the game, it is not what was cut, but what was additionally produced that was included. So He said, in my opinion, I don't like to call it a director's cut, but like also sharing a graphic that literally says director's cut on it. So I'm like,
Well, because
why did it have to be called a director's cut? Why was that out of his control?
there are certain branding things and release things and marketing things that even if you're the auteur, you don't get to choose.
I
you know?
watched the beginning of Death Stranding.
Yeah.
It is not a game of particular interest to me.
But
But I will say, what the fuck is this?
oh, do you really want me to get started?
No, not
Because
at
that's
all.
a key feature of the entire game.
I find that deeply disturbing. I don't like it.
Oh yeah, that's the point.
I don't like it.
That's like that baby is in amniotic fluid strapped to your body the entire game, and it's your radar. It tells you when there are enemies around.
Dude, why?
Sometimes you have to sometimes you have to lull the baby because it gets too upset. Sometimes the baby gives you a little thumbs up.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No, it does not.
Yeah, it does. This is
Chat.
this is a Kojima game.
Chat, does the baby give you a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Vacuous Mermaid in the live studio audience said, that's the funky fetus.
Yeah, the baby gives you a thumbs up. See?
Clappy hands and baby jar are actually great.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So not only is the game about walking, the game is entirely about walking with a lot of heavy stuff on your back and trying to balance, and you're also trying to do it with a baby strapped to you.
It blows heart-shaped bubbles in amniotic fluid?
Yeah.
See, I agree. Chronicle Turbulence said, that feels like an entire lie. And I agree with that. That feels like an entire lie.
It does feel like an entire lie, but that's Hideo Kojima.
Hideo Kojima feels like a lie.
You have to throw buckets of piss at ghosts.
I'm never playing this game.
You have to piss into a bucket and throw it at a ghost.
I am very happy for everyone who enjoyed it. I am not shitting on the game. I am happy.
Not just
for you.
once, all the time you got to throw your piss at ghosts.
It's just
There's something
deeply
in
not
your
for me.
piss, according to this game. There's something in your piss that ghosts hate.
This game is just deeply not for me.
You drink a lot of Monster Energy drink in it. They're literally branded Monster. Anything I say about this game sounds untrue, but I have not told you anything untrue yet. I don't like Death Stranding, but if you were to listen to me say all these things, you'd be like, holy shit, this is an Anthony Carboni game for Anthony Carbonis.
Sounds wild.
Except here's the thing. All of this stuff is true, but it takes itself so fucking seriously.
If it didn't take itself seriously and it was like you've got a fetus that gives you a thumbs up while you like throw back Monster Energy drink and toss piss, then I'd be like, all right, that sounds like something I'd play.
Put
But
those,
I know
put those
enough
same
about the gameplay.
things. Put those same things that I just said into a Suda 51 game, and then it's one of my favorite games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Conan O'Brien and Jeff Keighley are both in it. You get quests from Conan O'Brien.
I feel like we could play Two Truths and a Lie.
I haven't told a
Death Stranding
single
edition.
I haven't told a single lie.
We'll do this at some point. Maybe for the release when the director's when does the director's cut actually come out?
September 21st, I want to say.
Okay. For
So
the
yeah,
director's
September
cut
24th.
release, we'll do Two Truths and a Lie. Death Stranding edition.
Hermit Homeboy says, remember that the baby is given to you by Guillermo del Toro. I will never forget. I've often said that I would have Guillermo del Toro's baby. And finally, thanks to Death Stranding, I was allowed to.
All right, we'll do that.
Moving on, I want to show a couple highlights from this Saige. Games Done Quick, of course, happened.
Absolutely.
We talked a little bit about it. One of my favorite things to come out of Games Done Quick this year was this blindfolded 70-star Super Mario 64 run.
Because of course.
Blindfolded.
It's always wild because I look at the setups of the GDQ streamers that are like doing the proper speed runs, and
Oh
they're
my
never
God.
like on a nice streamer
Let me
setup.
see.
Yeah, your shit do be lagging.
My
I can
shit
pull
do
it
be-
up.
my
I've
shit
got
do
it
be-
here.
Okay.
Give me a little timey stamp. What do we got? 8 minutes in? Sure.
Yeah. Well, 8 minutes in is kind of it, yeah. But that just shows kind of like how he gets up the top of the mountain. But the real shit starts at 12 29.
12.
No, wait, 12. 12, 12. I want to show how he blindfolded rescues baby penguin.
Oh, hell yeah.
Watch this stuff, because remember, it's still a speed run.
Yeah.
So
he
he's
has to do it quick. The game has to be done quick.
boom,
Wow.
baby penguin. And then, without seeing, boom. Faster than I could do it with my eyes any day of the week.
He didn't have to chase that baby at all.
He didn't chase that baby penguin. That baby penguin was right in his hands. And then to get the star, he's got to feel for the corner of the building.
Wow.
He gets through 70 stars in an hour and a half.
That's incredible.
70 stars in an hour and a half. This is wild. I think this is not the one.
We replayed this game fairly recently.
Mm-hmm.
And it took us so long.
We played the real 35th anniversary edition, the PC port that runs at 1080 60 widescreen.
We did. And the amount of times that it was like, fuck, because we died and we passed the controller back and forth without a blindfold or trying to do it quickly.
It's wild.
Mario
It's wild.
64 gets spicy.
It does.
That's
it does
very
get
impressive.
spicy. So, shout out to Bubzia. Bubzia set a previous record.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the world record for this 70-star run. There's a Japanese speedrunner that has the world record for this particular run.
Blindfolded?
Yeah.
Wow.
But he does have a 7-star run that he did, or 16-star run that he did last year for Games Done Quick blindfolded that he did in like 40 minutes, where I believe he's a record holder.
Incredible.
And that stuff is a wild.
Let's talk about something else wild. I'm jumping.
Jump it.
Ladies, leave your man at home. Let's talk about a smuggler that was arrested. Do we talk about crime here often? No.
No.
That's not usually. We don't
talk about
we don't
crime.
cover regular news. We cover.
We don't do crime. You know what I mean? We're all cool, law-abiding citizens here.
Mm-hmm. Now, recently, in Hong Kong, a truck driver was stopped who was looking nervous.
Ooh, drugs? Weapons?
Something more valuable than both of those. CPU!
Ooh, what has he got, those i9s? Woo!
He was smuggling CPUs, but not just in his truck. They were strapped to his body, dude. They were fucking saran wrapped around his legs.
Now, of course, there's been a chip shortage, a semiconductor shortage, a technology shortage due to the athlete's foot.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, there are import-export laws that are keeping a chunk of these devices from being exported from mainland China.
Yes. So that is a particular smuggling thing they're looking out for right now between China and Hong Kong, which is very, very interesting.
So if you can get these devices or these components out of mainland China to Hong Kong, that's already a stronger economy than mainland China in a lot of ways. Their dollar's worth a bit more. Mm-hmm. You can also charge a lot for it.
So he was found to have 256 Intel CPUs strapped to his body, a mix of i7s and i9s, all strapped to his torso and legs. And then was found to have an additional 52
no i5s.
CPUs.
No norm core CPUs.
Absolutely not. Not if you're going to strap it to your body and risk this. And then have an additional 52 CPUs hidden in a compartment between the seats.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Saige, if we're talking crime,
Sure, let's keep talking crime.
I might have a crime that is as ridiculous as the one that you just spoke about.
Tell me about more crime.
The Ukraine Security Service
Okay.
busted recently a cryptocurrency mining farm. Now, certain countries make crypto farming illegal, particularly countries with socialized utilities, because if the government is providing electricity for everyone and you're using a quarter of that electricity for yourself, that's kind of uncool.
And crypto mining is deeply detrimental to the environment in the same way that NFTs are.
Now, they broke in and they discovered a mining farm running off of 5,000 devices, Saige.
Holy shit.
And you might notice that I said devices.
What kind of devices? Computers, right? You mean computers?
Yeah, and a lot of PS4 Pros. Like 5,000 PS4 Pros.
Dude, imagine crypto mining on a PS4.
So you got to get paid. Get paid however you can get paid. Now, because this is in Ukraine, there might be a little bit more to this story, according to everybody involved. Now, this mining operation happens to be in a warehouse next door to the energy company. And they do believe many of the executives and higher ranking officials of the energy company set up this crypto mining operation and then just didn't say a goddamn thing about it.
Now, what's so funny about that is if you're going to do a crime.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a crime that involves your job, right? So, like, let's say I work at the bank and I want to embezzle funds. I want to have a weird money exchange on the side.
Yeah.
Why would I do it in the building next door?
Because you can walk right over to it. You could just walk right there and check out the whole operation. And they'd never expect you to do it. They'd never expect you to be that crazy.
Yeah, they got caught.
The agency has been accused of leaching as much as $250,000 worth of energy from the surrounding grid using special electrical meters to hide the theft.
No, where are they getting those?
Now, here's another thing that's going on. There's a lot of stuff that's happening here. It's grift on grift. The SBU, which is the Ukraine Security Service, has been super accused of a lot of corruption and misdeeds and misdoing. And there are a lot of people that are saying maybe they set it up. There are a lot of people saying maybe there was nothing illegal going on and they're creating this whole thing in order to seize a bunch of merchandise from a warehouse and then resell it. Because they've apparently done something like that before. They also hold people in secret detention facilities. They trample free speech rights. It's hard to tell who's the criminal here. And if you are the criminal in this situation, who's the cool criminal?
Dagger.
And who's the one? Dagger's always the cruel.
Dagger's a cool guy.
I mean, somebody just called me DJM in the live studio audience, said this is a 12-episode Netflix series, and I thought the same thing. When I saw this
100%.
headline, I was like, who optioned these rights?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's hilarious. Did you know one of the participants of the Bling Ring is on TikTok now?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose they're all out of trouble now, huh?
They're all out of,
Wow.
they're out of jail and stuff.
First of all, congrats to the Bling Ring. Get paid. Second of all, what is she doing on TikTok?
She came up in my feed for something totally different. She was talking about bisexuality, and at the end, she was like, yes, also, I was part of the Bling Ring. Yeah.
Are you sure you weren't watching Emma Watson's TikTok? You know Emma Watson isn't really in the Bling Ring. That was a fictional retelling of the story.
Thank you, Anthony.
I'm just checking.
I'll double check.
Yeah,
I
please,
should.
you should
Yeah.
double check.
I
Does
guess
she
I
look
have
like
my name.
Hermione Granger?
though she's much older than Hermione Granger. Anyways.
Could still be Emma Watson.
We've got one more piece of business news.
We are a business show.
Business professionals.
Look, I got my MBA on the streets. I got a street MBA.
Now, I passed the bar in the state of Virginia, so I can legally give you legal advice.
Legally.
Legally. But you know what's illegal? Cheating.
Cheating.
Cheating's illegal.
Cheating's illegal.
Cheating at games. Hey, have you ever been to an arcade and you felt like you were doing like really well, and then at the end when you were supposed to get a prize from something, you like miss it by one, and you're just like, it's rigged.
Oh, like a UFO grabber or things like that. Where you're just like,
it's rigged.
Or the one where you got to drop the blocks on the tower on top of each other.
Oh my God, stackers.
Stackers.
Wait, stackers goes this way.
Yeah, it goes like this, but you've got to like stop it, and then the next one, yeah.
I for a while was wildly good at stackers.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you ever win the big boys?
I would always get to the big boy, but I don't think anyone actually wins the big boy. But I could consistently get to the big boy. I think we won the big boy once in like years of playing it.
Well, there might be a reason for that, Saige.
Well, that reason might be that these games are in fact rigged, and Sega is currently being sued for it.
Not on Sonic's birthday, Sega.
Sega, please, you're embarrassing the family. Keymaster, one of those games you're trying to line up the key to go into a lock to unlock and drop you said prize. No. Have you ever won one of those things?
No, but I don't play them that often. I don't have a real gambling gene. It's surprising out of all the impulsive things I do.
See, I don't really either. The reason I played so much Stackers as a kid was because I was only allowed to go to a couple of places nearby for some reason, and one of them was a Pizza Hut, and my best friend growing up
And one
was
of them
wealthy.
was a Taco Bell?
One was a combination
Pizza Hut and Taco Bell.
My best friend growing up was very wealthy. Oh, hello, my mom's here, as I'm talking about how I wasn't allowed to go anywhere. And it had a Stackers machine in it.
Mm-hmm.
And his family had plenty of money, so he would just sit there and keep putting money in the Stackers machine, and we would just play because we weren't allowed to do anything else.
I mean, and that's what they want. That's what they want.
So, Keymaster. The allegations here, it says, nowhere on the Keymaster machine do defendants inform customers of the truth, that the machines are rigged so that players can only win prizes at certain times.
The allegation here is, number one, Keymaster says that it is a game of skill. It is not a random game. Mm-hmm. They say that you can win the game if your reflexes are good enough.
Yep.
That's the way the game is presented. However, it looks like arcade owners can set a certain amount of games that must be played
before it will give out a prize and a certain amount of money that would have to be collected then inherently. In the manual, according to screenshots, the Keymaster machine will not reward a prize until the number of player attempts reaches the threshold of attempts set by the operator. Lawyers for Mudo say that the default setting is 700, but that each machine can be programmed by the individual operators.
So that means, yes, it is skill-based as long as $700 have been put into it. Once $700 have been put into the machine, it unlocks the ability for it to be skill-based. Until then, even if you hit it in exactly the right spot,
you will not win.
It'll move it over. It'll move it over. And there are apparently YouTube clips of this. There are apparently people who show the whole thing happening.
Yeah. And it's not like 1 in every 700 win. You then have to win.
You then still have to win. So it's pretty interesting. Now, Sega has not made Keymaster machines in a couple years because this is not the first time that Keymaster has come under legal fire. So they did first push a firmware update, which was optional for owners. And what owner is going to install the firmware update that makes it easier to win the game?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
of course not. They're getting their money's worth.
And now there's a new version of the machine, which is called like, what is it called? Like Lock something? It's called something. Prize Locker.
Yeah.
Prize Locker is able to be won at any time.
I bet there are worse prizes in it.
Oh, for sure.
Gotta be lower prizes.
For sure. Like Keymaster is one of those ones where you like go and it's all iPods and
Do you remember when you were a kid?
And phones and stuff.
I mean, it's not gonna be iPods anymore, right?
That's true. But remember when it was like iPods and phones?
I remember
and
when
like,
it was iPods, and I remember when it was occasionally there would be a Game Boy in there.
I remember seeing Vitas and being like, holy shit, a Vita.
Yeah, right?
That's the fancy man's portable console.
Yeah. I would like to point out that Tom Biden in the live studio audience said, Sega, nah.
Wow. Not on my watch. Not on my watch, he didn't. Your mom in the live studio audience admits that she was overprotective.
Thank you, Mother. I'm glad we could have this conversation now. Let's talk about movies and stuff. Shall we?
Yeah, let's talk about movies and stuff.
Today is Wednesday. The season premiere of Loki came out today, didn't it?
Season finale.
Yes, that's the word I meant to say. The season finale, thank you very much, of Loki came out today. No spoilers.
No spoilers. We haven't watched it. I'm going to watch it
today.
today.
No spoilers. Do not. Don't you dare. But, small spoiler. Smallest spoiler, I promise.
Well, we don't even need to say that much. All we need to say is
season 2 of Loki has been confirmed.
Woo!
No. Okay, like it's not really a spoiler. It's that season 2. We'll say you can headphones off. You're good, or headphones on. That's when spoilers are happening. You put it down because there's no spoilers. There's no spoilers. There's no spoiler.
okay.
All we know is that season 2 of Loki has been confirmed. It was confirmed in a mid-credit scene. That's a spoiler?
Yeah, that's why I was putting my. Yeah, that's the part that I said we shouldn't say.
It's acknowledged it's not a spoiler,
but like
it's not a spoiler. That's not a spoiler.
We're not gonna. Some people don't even want to know that there's a mid-credit scene until they watch, though.
Okay.
That's why I'm very tricky about this stuff.
Yeah, stop doing it though. It's not happening right now.
It did happen.
Talking. I'm not even talking. Stop it.
They announced it outside of the show.
Okay.
It's announced. Loki season 2 is happening. Loki is one of my favorite things. I don't know whether I like it more than WandaVision. I'm torn.
So far for me, I actually have still preferred WandaVision.
I think WandaVision speaks more to me. I will say, and I said this on Twitter, Loki is the best season of Doctor Who we've gotten in years. Loki is the best season of Doctor Who we've gotten in years. It's really wonderful, and it's almost like seeing what Doctor Who would do with a lot of money.
Yeah, that's fair. It's big budget Doctor Who.
Yeah,
I could totally see that. There were people complaining that it was so similar to Doctor Who. I didn't find it that similar.
No, it's a mix. It's a mix between. It's Doctor Who, but it also has some of the visual like panache of something like a Legion, and some of the, and it just
I haven't watched Legion.
It just has the
Legion a lot, but I haven't watched it.
The character focused stuff of a Marvel series. Like
absolutely.
Marvel's very good at focusing on inner turmoil and character stuff in a way that like Doctor Who can sometimes do, but can't really hold on to for a long period of time.
Yeah, and I mean inherently Loki is not like the Doctor, and the driving force of Doctor Who and what makes Doctor Who is the personality of the Doctor himself. There's a lot of shows that can deal with fantasy and sci-fi time travel.
I would say that there is a character in Loki that is the Doctor, and it's not Loki.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely. It's a great show. We'll probably, if you're part of the Patreon, we'll probably gush over it on the Patreon clip this week, just so that you know what you're getting into. Mm-hmm. And that will be full of spoilers, and we'll probably talk all about Loki.
Yeah.
Because Loki's so good.
Sure. That means I gotta watch the episode.
You can do it. I believe in
Friday.
you. It's very good.
And hey, while we're talking about Disney Plus, while we're talking about WandaVision in comparison to Loki, let's talk about Emmy nominations, because Disney Plus did a sweep, y'all.
Disney
on these
Plus
Emmy
crushed
nominations. So far, it's just the nominations, obviously, but It's very, very interesting to see us go from a place where superhero films were looked down upon, where large actors didn't want to be a part of it, where large actors were making essentially fun of the success of Marvel, to it just being a majority of the Emmy nominations and massive performers being like, can I get in a Marvel?
How do I get in on
Let
that?
me in a Marvel.
Well, the award nominations are definitely reflecting how the industry and how the audience is feeling about genre fiction now.
Yep.
Because The Mandalorian is made of PS4 Pros. The Mandalorian has tied for the most 2021 Emmy nominations with The Crown.
Yeah. So
24 noms each.
that is 24 nominations. That's wild. I haven't actually watched The Crown, but that's a very Emmy show.
It's a very
That's
Emmy
the kind
show.
of show that you would see nominated for Emmys in any other year.
Hey, congratulations to The Crown. But hey, also, congratulations to like Timothy Olyphant
Yeah.
and Carl Weathers and Giancarlo Esposito,
Yeah.
who are all nominated.
Right.
Also, like, The Mandalorian is nominated for Best Drama against something like The Crown.
Like that's big.
We're talking about a multi-generational historical political period biopic series thing
Yeah.
that was made for prestige. It was made to devour awards.
Right.
And then a man in a jetpack with a baby. And the baby lift thing with its
During
mind.
a Star War.
Come on.
Come on. The Queen versus the Empire.
Baby versus Queen. Who'd do better?
I'm very curious to see it. Do you think that they'll win? Do you think that they'll win?
Best drama?
No.
It's a long shot.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's a long shot.
WandaVision also earned 23 nominations, including Best Limited Series. Catherine Hahn was nominated for Best Supporting Actress.
Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen were both nominated for lead.
Now, this one was interesting. Don Cheadle was nominated for a guest appearance. For his guest appearance in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Fuck it, yeah, man.
Which is very... You didn't watch... Did you watch it?
Yeah.
You watched the whole thing.
I watched it.
I talked to a couple of people who watched it, and they were like... I barely remembered that he was in it.
Yeah, when you said they nominated Don Cheadle, I was like, oh yeah, Don Cheadle was there.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle was there for like
Which
5 minutes.
Don Cheadle is an icon.
Yeah. Listen, there's so many things Don Cheadle should be winning awards for, and I don't begrudge Don Cheadle anything. Don Cheadle can have whatever he wants, but it's so wild.
It is wild.
It's so wild because he was barely there. Something that I want to talk about: Football is Life. Ted Lasso, 20 nominations. 20 nominations, season 2, July 23rd. Fucking best fucking show fucking ever. Football is Life. Barbecue sauce. That's right. Just call me DJM. Richmond till we die.
I'm just letting you do this.
Yeah. 20 nominations. It was one nomination short of the all-time nomination record for a comedy, which was 30 Rock.
Which is so funny because when I think of Ted Lasso, I do not classify it mentally as a comedy.
I mean, because it rides that line so
when
well.
I think of Ted Lasso, the first things that come to mind are Ted Lasso breaking my fucking heart.
Yeah, but it's also funny.
It's also very funny. It's an incredible show. I loved Ted Lasso. But damn.
I'm going to a Ted Lasso season 2 premiere watch party, and now listen, we don't buy useless things. You know that. We don't buy things that we don't need.
Ted Lasso premiere watch party?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to a premiere watch party for Ted Lasso, and I found out the WB Studio Store sells personalized Richmond jerseys, just like they're a real soccer team. You can order a personalized Richmond jersey.
Are you doing it?
I did it, past tense.
When does that new season drop?
23rd. 23rd.
I'll have you know that's only one day before the most important show coming soon.
Sexy Beasts.
Sexy Beasts.
God damn. We really are living in the golden age of television. When we
are.
can have Ted Lasso and Sexy Beasts one day apart. Fuck.
Fuck, right?
That's great.
We got a couple of other things, of course. Yeah, you should get them.
We don't buy useless stuff, but like, you know, we don't buy useless stuff. You know, ooh, look at this long sleeve shirt that says it's thinking. Come on.
That's good.
That's very good. I don't know. Everybody's wondering how they're going to pay for Apple TV and if they should pay for Apple TV. If you've bought an Apple device in the last like year,
it probably came with Apple TV.
Check your email and check the Apple TV app in your phone. It might just sign you up for a free trial. I got like a free year, which just ran out. And
how much is it a month?
Apple TV? I think it's 5 or 10. It's 5 or 10.
Let's find out.
Let's find out together as a family. Apple TV Plus. Yeah.
$4.99 a month.
$4.99 a month. Ted Lasso comes out.
But they only give you a 7-day free trial, whereas most give you that 30.
Yeah.
You can only get a 7-day free trial. I'm running out of my Paramount Plus subscription, and like I do not want to subscribe to Paramount Plus.
No. Did the
It's
Patrick Star show come out?
I know that the SpongeBob prequel did.
Okay.
The main thing that Paramount Plus, I mean, when the subscription will be very valuable to me is when the Avatar content starts dropping. But also, if you look here at this tab of Paramount Plus that I have open, they also have, they have like all of the old Nickelodeon shows, but I was trying to find it. Are You the One?
But Are You the One is on Netflix.
The first 2 seasons are, Anthony. That's how they get you.
But you shouldn't watch Are You the One.
I know. Isn't that wild?
You know that I am a big believer in trash dating reality TV, but there are certain shows that I don't watch. We don't watch The Bachelor in this house.
No, we don't watch The Bachelor.
And we don't watch Are You the One in this house.
I know. The reunion is just so fucking insane. I watched last night the reunion of season 2, okay? Because it's just been a background show that I've been leaving on while I've been, like, working out here. I want you know what? Would you do this for me as a Patreon exclusive? I don't want you to watch the season. I just want you to watch the reunion episode with me.
I feel like I've watched season 2.
I need you to watch the reunion episode so we can talk about it.
Okay. Blue Nose is 19 in the chat. Joke's on you. We have the UK Love Island and an American Love Island.
Yep,
and we
but
can
the UK
watch them
one's way
both.
better.
UK one's way better.
Way better.
Love Love Island.
The Australian one's pretty good too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I believe that.
I've seen like an episode of it.
I believe it.
Let's talk about something else that's a little trashy.
Okay.
A little tacky, but it's also breaking my heart a little bit. We will not be getting the Joe Exotic Amazon project. Now, they didn't specify. There was talk that it might be a movie. There was talk that it might be a series. Nicolas Cage was going to be playing Joe Exotic in an Amazon project, and Nicolas Cage has confirmed that it's not happening.
Yeah, he says that, Amazon at the time, they wanted to strike while the iron was hot, as they say.
And it took too long.
It took too long probably because of the athlete's foot.
Yeah.
If we're honest.
Yes.
They couldn't jump right into production on these things. Mm-hmm. So Amazon was like, Tiger King's kind of over.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're not wrong.
They're not wrong. Tiger King is kind of over. I'm intrigued to see if one day there will be a follow-up season.
Yeah, me too. I mean, Tiger King, because of the PTSD and scarring of the athlete's foot,
mm-hmm.
My sense of time is fucked.
Yeah.
Tiger King could have been 30 years ago.
I will say, in response to Grumpy Steen's, we've stopped celebrating meth addicts who tried to hire a hitman. We're not going to shame somebody for meth addiction.
Now hiring a hitman.
Hiring a hitman. Absolutely. But on the other hand, I just don't think that series about bad people are inherently celebrating them.
No.
I don't want to get to a point in media that we cannot tell stories of bad people, that we can't have documentary series on things that were awful.
I don't think if you're making
have stories of villains.
I don't think if you're making a Tiger King series, you're looking at anybody as the good guy.
They're not making him a hero.
Nobody is the protagonist of a Tiger King series.
No one finished watching the Tiger King Netflix series and was like, that Joe Exotic, stand-up guy.
He's got some good ideas. Now, you might say, oh no, what about Kate McKinnon as Carol Baskin? To which I say to you, that's a different Tiger King series.
That's a different Tiger King.
And that's still happening.
Supposedly. Now, that's in development by Peacock, who probably doesn't care about things getting old because they're Peacock. They're not concerned with relevancy. They got Kate McKinnon somehow.
Kate McKinnon as Carol Baskin is actually beautiful and wonderful, and I am a little disappointed that Kate McKinnon and Nick Cage weren't attached to the same one.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to choose between getting Nick Cage as Joe Exotic or Kate McKinnon as Carol Baskin, which one do you want more?
Oh, I want Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's Kate McKinnon. I think that Nicolas Cage as Joe Exotic would have been fucking hilarious. I talked about recently on my stream, I asked everybody to go and watch Willy's Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the most ridiculous movie I've seen in a long time.
Listen, the best thing that ever happened to us as a movie-going audience is Nicolas Cage's tax evasion. Because he has to do a certain number of movies a year. He has to stay employed legally.
Yep.
And he has to pay back. He bought a castle. He got fucked up and bought a castle. Do you know this? And then he stopped paying taxes on his castle. He bought a castle in another country. Fucking Nick Cage, man. He owns. Now, he has to take weird shit that comes along and turn it into gold. And he does. He does. Man, he should have won 13 Oscars for Mandy. 13 at least for Mandy.
Gray Day in the live studio audience talking about Tiger King was saying, didn't they knowingly misgender a trans person? Not that I'm aware of. It's possible that is the case, but I'm not familiar with that to be the case.
Yeah. Color Out of Space, also amazing. Yeah. And then the new movie that he's got going on, Pig. You heard about Pig?
And considering, I just still on that. Considering it's a Netflix series,
Yeah.
from not saying that Netflix are good people because it's a large corporation. We know there are no good large corporations.
Right.
With the kind of content that Netflix typically releases, which is rather progressive, even from a PR standpoint, I can't imagine that a series developed by, like not just put onto Netflix, but developed by Netflix would knowingly do so, because that would just simply be bad PR.
I don't know.
There are better reasons to not do it.
Sometimes they make big missteps. So they had that movie about like the really young beauty pageant contestants that was like way too graphic.
Yes, absolutely.
So they have made missteps like that before.
I'm saying the accusation is knowingly doing so.
Right.
Which would be too bad of PR, and I don't think that they would do so knowingly. It
No.
does not mean, though, that somebody was not misgendered, then that isn't an issue.
Yeah.
I just think those are two different things.
Also cannot confirm that. I don't know. I don't know that off the top of my head. But
yeah, that's what I said first.
yeah.
So.
Pig is a movie.
I've never seen Mandy.
Pig is a movie where a chef who hunts for truffles with his pig has his beloved truffle pig kidnapped and goes on a violent revenge bender to get Pig back. Now that's a movie.
It's a new movie coming?
Yeah, it's coming out.
Okay. Yeah, a movie no one needed.
What movie did no one need?
The Fairly Odd Parents live action movie that starred Drake Bell. This isn't it.
Oh.
The Fairly Odd Parents live action movie that starred Drake Campagno. Drake Bell, obviously, currently being convicted of an unspecified crime of endangering a child. And to distract from it, he said, I have a wife and a baby.
Yeah.
Did you know?
You can't do bad things if you have a wife and a baby. No one who's ever had a wife and a baby has ever done anything bad. Look it up.
I wouldn't. This woman married me.
Meanwhile,
That happened.
Meanwhile, Josh Peck is just
Being a good
dude.
on TikTok.
Working on the reboot of Turner and Hooch for Disney Plus.
Dope.
Trying to become this generation's Tom Hanks the best he can. Starting with the Dog Cop movie.
But I think we're all just going, shh, that live action, we've never done live action Fairly Odd Parents. I don't know what you're talking about. It's a cartoon.
Yeah. They did
So-
so many like mid to low budget live actions of their series. That,
So
like, are
many.
forgotten.
That we're just pretending it didn't happen.
Disney
And
did that too.
yeah, absolutely.
With their Disney Channel anime. Oh my gosh, I remember there was a live action Ben 10. There were 2 live action Ben 10s.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway.
So, Fairly Odd Parents is getting a live action reboot. There's been a lot of reboots. Paramount Plus is for reboots. Paramount Plus is for reboots. Obviously, the iCarly one is happening. There's a Dora the Explorer reboot.
That live action Dora the Explorer movie that came out
Was so weirdly good.
is so weird.
It was so weirdly good.
There's a weird scene where they all get high on like mushrooms in the forest.
Yeah.
And they like hallucinate for like a solid 3 minutes. And it's in
Yeah.
the Dora the Explorer movie.
See if I can find this. I had a quote from that movie written down.
Fucking wild, man.
I'll never find it. There were so many weird fucking Dora the Explorer quotes about death and shit in it. Like,
Yeah.
it was bananas.
It was a very good film. It was sort of, you know what, it sort of reminded me of the live action Scooby-Doo. It didn't go as far as the live action Scooby-Doo,
Yeah.
but you can tell that they sort of took that as like a guiding principle,
Yeah.
where they were like, let's just get a little weird with it. The kids won't know and the adults will appreciate it.
I'm trying to find it, but I won't. Anyways, so they have announced a cast for the live action reboot.
So there's a new Fairly Odd Parents.
There's a new Fairly Odd Parents. There was the Fairly Odd Parents cartoon series, and then there was a movie with Drake Bell, but this is going to be a series for Paramount Plus, where all of the reboots go to die.
And they say it's going to be based entirely on the fan art of the fairies that you see on the internet.
Not correct.
It's going to be based entirely on the fan art of the fairies, which is totally innocent and very good, and certainly doesn't appear in a certain kind of banner ad if you don't turn on ad block.
Trying to get through comicbook.com and navigate it, and it's a nightmare, as always. I'm trying to find the cast list, so give me a second.
What would you rather navigate through? Banner ads with Fairly Odd Parents porn or one page of comicbook.com?
The first one.
Cast for this series.
There we go. So the voices of Cosmo and Wanda are returning, respectively. I'm guessing they're going to be probably CGI.
Yeah, I think the fairies are CG animated.
The physical
and they're
cast.
doing stuff. They are doing stuff, those fairies.
Audrey Grace Marshall as Vivian Viv Turner,
I don't know who
and
that
Tyler
is.
Waldis as Roy
I don't know who that is.
Ragland. Laura Bell Bundy as Roy's mom.
These are all children, right?
I actually don't know who most of these people are.
These are all, yeah. Probably, it's nobody recognizable, but
Yeah.
congratulations to everybody working on that series, which I hear
So
is going to be hot.
It's not about Timmy.
No, it's never been about Timmy. It's been about those hot fairies.
So the series picks up years. I'm just ignoring you. After the end of the
I
original series,
noticed.
and we'll follow Timmy Turner's cousin Viv Turner and her new stepbrother Roy. After the two of them are entrusted with Timmy's fairy godparents.
Okay,
That's weird.
sure.
That's weird.
Hey, that's weird.
Very interesting because you're not going to hit the nostalgia, and with a live action cast and the fact that it's on Paramount Plus, I can't help but wonder who this is for.
Well-
it's the same question I had about the iCarly reboot. I was like, who is this for?
This seems more along the lines of taking the page out of the soft reboot that they do with a lot of these projects, like what they did with Girl Meets World, where it's like the original characters are there
Yes.
a little bit as adults for the people that grew up with this show,
Uh-huh.
and then there is a new cast for your children. So your children, they don't have to worry about adult expectations for what a child's show is supposed to be.
Sure, and I've seen a lot of that for the live action 90s shows. This show is a little newer. Fairly Odd Parents is more recent than Boy Meets World or something of the sort.
Here comes Kaylee.
Hi, Kaylee.
Kaylee says in the live studio audience, Laura Bell Bundy was Elle Woods in the Legally Blonde musical.
Great. So,
Now we know.
anyways, the transition from animated to live action and not having familiar characters, like, you obviously can't have the same characters you did in a live action show.
Sure.
This is an animated series that they're adapting. They very much could have someone play the leads that they're familiar with. So I'm I'm just intrigued to see who it's for. I checked out the iCarly reboot because
Yeah.
I was the generation that did have iCarly as like a tween.
It's a weird idea.
It's a weird idea, and it does land in a place that, again, I'm wondering who it's for, because it's definitely not for children. It is adult in topic and in subject matter.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you know, there's a good amount of reference to sex and relationships and things of the sort that are not relatable for kids.
I think the trick with a show like that is they wanted to make it, you grew up with iCarly and now iCarly has grown up and you can watch this show where now iCarly is dealing with the things that you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that type of show uses a very specific Disney Channel for kids, crudely written humor.
Yeah.
And I don't mean crude as in like gross. I mean crude as in like big, broad jokes for kids.
Yes.
And when you have to keep that style but make it for adults, it feels weird.
Yeah, it's tough.
It feels weird. Make it like Riverdale. Hey,
Yeah.
you know what they should bring back? Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh my God, I would love that.
Give me
a live action Grim.
Give me a
Adventures of
live
Billy and
action
Mandy.
that. Give me those kids as adults.
Give me a very hot Grim.
Yeah.
I had such a crush on Grim. I had such a
that
crush
tracks.
on Cartoon Grim as a kid.
100%
Like,
tracks.
it was Danny Phantom, it was Shiga, and it was Grim.
First Loves. One more and
that's-
you can play MASH. Hey, folks, that's the news.
That's the news. We have, of course, another clip up on our Patreon. What did we talk about? We talked about the Pokemon Nature Park over on our Patreon yesterday. So if you haven't checked that out yet, or not yesterday, it was up on Monday. If you haven't checked that out yet, this is more of us to go and see and talk about Japanese theme parks that we're very excited about.
Let me in.
to
Let me into
everybody
Japan.
who has showed up and supported us today. Thank you for starting your morning off with us. Of course, we do the show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at exactly 8 a.m. Pacific.
Whenever that happens.
Whenever that happens. And if it's not 8 a.m. when we start, you should check into that, because it sounds like an issue on your end.
We want to give a shout out to everybody who donated, followed, subscribed, did all that kind of good stuff during the show. Auto Anatomy with the $20 donation. Shiny Shed Shelf Sidekicks is what they say. Julio Cordero 96, Jamred 1999, thank you for the follows. Stolen Tag with the resub for 9 months. Thanks for sticking it out with us. We really appreciate it. Blue Pirate with the host, thank you. Ghost Fulcrum, Amali ECJ, Tiefling the Bard, thank you for the follow. Kalen Rohr just came in with 5 gift subs. Thank you for your generosity. Flannel Fries with the resub for 9 months in a row. It's a good number, says Flannel Fries. We agree. The Vanished Man, Benboland 210, Mad Moody Meal, thank you for the follows. 54 Aqua Snakes with the $12.96 donation.
Thank you.
Groovy Deadite with the resub for 3 months. Welcome back. Jesus Porno, thank you for the follow. The Captain Awesome with the resub for 5 months in a row. Thank you for that. T.O. Marshall with the follow. 54 Aqua Snakes with 123 bits. Kalen Rohr with the resub. Fugitive Sidekick. Thank you all so much for your support. And hey, you know, we're calling out the people who do money things, but we understand money is weird.
Of course.
Money is weird and strange, and you spend your money however you want to spend your money. We are just making a show, hoping that people show up and enjoy it. And if you're doing that, you're already doing everything we could have dreamed. If you'd like to support the show in a non-monetary way, though, and do a little bit more,
There's things to do.
there's things to do.
Mm-hmm.
We love it if you just share the show with friends. Let people know when we're going live. Share a VOD. You know, we put them here and we put them on YouTube. If you've got a friend that's not so Twitch inclined, they're over there. Join the Discord. Suggest a story for the show. We love it when you all suggest a story. And, of course, we'll give you a shout-out when we use it. Make a clip.
Make a clip, make a GIF.
Make a GIF. I
don't
love
know.
to be in a GIF. I don't know.
Fan art makes me cry sometimes.
Oh, it makes her cry all the time.
I cry a lot.
Any and all of those things are wonderful. And you know, we're not just here on this show.
No, of course. Another way to support us is going and following us when we're not too early. Where can they find you, Anthony?
I am at A Carboni everywhere except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. Streaming some Zelda. Be sure you follow so you know when we go live. Fridays, You can also catch me on my science comedy podcast with Jeff Kanata called We Have Concerns. That's wehaveconcerns.com. I think it is a very good show, and you will maybe learn something and maybe marvel at how stupid we are with science. Who can say?
How lovely.
Also, Fridays, Saige and I are both here for Failed Save, which is our live play D&D show, but it's not here this week, so you have 1 week to mentally prepare for how good our fucking D&D show is.
Yeah, because we're doing something very special when we come back. You know what we're doing, right? It's a wedding, baby!
Baby, it's a wedding.
Of Fess and Bora. Is that me?
That's probably the wedding planner.
Sorry. I've got wedding plans to deal with. Fess and Bora are getting married, and we're having a damn party for it. So that'll be, when we come back, it's going to be very exciting. That, of course, is always Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal, and
It's a
we're
big
both on
deal.
it.
We're
Playing
both
D&D
on
together.
it. Saige, where the hell are you?
I am at Not Saige everywhere on the internet. You can find me on my channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Wednesday is today. I'll be live at 5 p.m. Pacific playing games and hanging out here in the shed. Currently, we've been calling it either the Fancy Shack or the Shed.
Oh.
Yeah, because this is what it looks like, especially outside of this wall. And as a reminder, your donations do go to helping this look less like a shack and or shed. This is our new workspace that we are trying to turn into something that we can shoot shows in, maybe one day play D&D in, and look like an actual show set again. But you can also find me on Smosh Games and the D&D channel for the Black Dice Society. And I'm around other places. I got new stuff coming soon.
Ooh.
Not tell you yet.
Thank goodness. You didn't do enough stuff. Hey. We love you.
We love you, BBs. Thank you for being here. Oh, and for me, as a favor, tune in at 8 a.m. tomorrow and watch Trouble in Tech.
Yes. Hey, you're already here at 8 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
We've already fucked up your sleep schedule. You're
Listen.
up.
An important thing, let's talk about neurodivergence. An important thing is to have a repeatable routine, consistency.
Absolutely.
Come here tomorrow, 8 a.m. Watch Trouble in Techburg.
Trouble in Techburg is a kids on bikes game with a bunch of fantastic creators. Our very own Kaylee Bray, who just popped in the chat, one of my favorite people on the planet. She's on it. It is a phenomenal cast. Sharif is an absolute icon of a DM. Go watch it. It's very, very fun. It is lighthearted and lovely, and getting occasionally even a little trippy and spooky.
If you are unfamiliar with Kids on Bikes, it is a wonderful TTRPG system that is based on, the 80s adventure horror kids movie.
Yeah.
So if that's an aesthetic that you love, if you love Stranger Things, if you love things along that line, you're going to really like this show.
So, put it in your routine. We're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which means in between, you got time for Trouble in Techburg. VODs are up on YouTube as well. Thank you, Ronan. We love you so much, BBs. We will see you on Friday.
Goodbye forever until Friday.